little look like so much.
Yeah.
And we're grateful to be where we are now because we have such a better perspective where we tired of making broke look good.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
we're on to bigger, and why we and narrow. I was cussing my ass out last week. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, like I was cussing out. We was going at it. We was 7 years back.
Big time.
Okay. We was 7 years back.
Big time.
Okay, we was cussing. We was
Going
cussing. We was
in.
acting the fool.
Yeah.
And then she gave me the 90 and and I was all right. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was hungry and I needed a Snicker. You know what I'm saying? And,
Oh my gosh.
good to go.
Oh my gosh.
Papa
Anyway,
and all type of stuff.
I just thought that I would read this comment really quick. So we got a comment on Facebook, on our Facebook Live is sorry I've been MIA, and you know that we love you, so we understand. Had a lot going on, but I love you guys. Y'all have helped my marriage more than you know, even before I got married. And she's probably right, because we wouldn't necessarily know how much we've helped, but we are so grateful that we are able to help. What she say? Don't let that nasty COVID in the house. So let me take a quick moment and kind of discuss COVID really quick, right? So not for nothing, because when you talk about the best of times, right, you also have to kind of keep in mind and consider the potential. What you did? You also have to consider the potential of the worst of times too, right? In a time where we are literally facing a worldwide pandemic like COVID, what we did as a family, literally all of us, we but we went back to the basics, and we reconnected with the earth. So we take a lot of natural vitamins.
That's right.
And we eat a little bit than everyone else.
More strict diet.
A much more green diet, right?
Yeah.
We eat a lot.
I done growed up. I eat all of my vegetables.
He told my dad that, and he died laughing. But anyway, we eat a lot more green, and we've kind of come a little bit off of such harsh meat. We don't do pork at all. Right. Beef is very sparingly, so it's mostly turkey and chicken, and then everything from the sea is more or less what we do. Our daily kind of vitamins that we take B, C, and D, right? B6, C, and D. And if you add zinc to that combo, you basically have without the airborne. So we take that, and we started doing that right at the start of the outbreak of COVID.
We get out in the sun. We're very active.
Yeah.
Got to get that sun. Got to be active. You can't sit around, slouch around. Depression is a real thing. Mental health is just as important as your physical health. So we have to make sure that we keep a balance to all of these different things. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Little bacon never hurt nobody.
A little bacon ain't never hurt nobody. But I tell you what, you want to do some bacon, take your bacon, okay, and wrap it around some asparagus.
That's right.
Try that. Okay.
That's right.
Do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And we do encourage you to eat, what makes you feel good, because we both love food. That's something that we haven't necessarily been able to
see me at Papa Do's today. Y'all see this thing? I can.
He trying to convince himself that he is all
fat, fine as fuck, y'all. You understand?
So in either case, as far as COVID goes, we added those vitamins into our diet and shifted the way that we were eating. And by the grace of God, none of our children have gotten even a cold.
No, we haven't had runny noses
in
a while. We've had one or two little ear infections.
It's cold, so there's some things that are outside of our control. But definitely we've been really, really well. And both he and I still have to go out into the work field.
Hmm.
So that is one of those additional challenges, but we make it work.
Yeah, no doubt. COVID
Mhm.
has definitely taken its toll on everybody's household. But the dynamic of your relationship has to change as things change. And as the years go on, you will be able to identify with a lot of different changes within yourself and your partner. So you gotta, do what you do to keep things where you can get what you like.
I will say that it is super important that as your relationship goes on, right? As the length of time of your relationship goes on, as your relationship grows and you grow, then you in that relationship should grow. The kind of gifts that my husband liked year one is not the same kind of gifts that he now likes at year 10.
Mm-mm. I like guns.
The same kind of things that he liked to do at year one is not the same kind of things that he likes to do now at year 10. So
That's right.
as you grow, as things change, be willing to change your first times, right?
Oh yeah.
Like today we had a great time doing it. It was the first
Yeah, we had a
time.
great time. And then like remember when you put that the outfit on and you had just the heels on and I was that was the first time. And let me tell you something. I felt like la da 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 da. My very in the house on the couch in your parents' bedroom. Remember? We,
Not just really quick, seriously, because I just read her comment and she said you have to love enough to notice the growth, but it's not just important for you to notice the growth, but you have to be willing to accept and adapt to that growth.
yes.
You have to be willing to accept it and adapt to it.
Listen, y'all women are such intricate individuals. You guys change and mature and evolve so much more often than men do. I've become the extrovert turned introvert. I just kind of stick to myself, stay at home when I'm not at work. I don't really do too much traveling outside of with my wife or my children. And that's a complete opposite of what I was. You know what I'm saying? I was always
Big
somewhere
time.
doing something with somebody, or a bunch of people, or people coming over, and I don't. It's
We
just
good off all that.
yeah. And my wife now, the
That's right,
person that
Deanna.
was the homebody, she wants to go here and she wants to do brunches and lunches and pop ups and uh we even got one or two people who come to the house and we go to their house and
And
shit
it's
like that. And
strange.
I'm like, yeah, this bullshit. I be telling, I'm like, girl, COVID. But
But it's so very, very true that
yeah,
we've kind of swapped roles to a certain degree, because at one point I really did not like people coming to my house at all. I did not like people. He would be like, oh, I'm on the way with so and so. And it's like, they're coming here? Like
yeah,
here?
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Can't didn't really like that part, but I don't know, I've kind of grown, but I'm still just as particular about who I do let come here.
Oh, of course. I mean, you have to have discretion and really like, discern who and what and how.
Hmm.
Their do's and don'ts in any circumstances in your relationship particularly. But you just have to kind of like, keep things fresh and make sure that you're on the straight and narrow and upfront with your partner.
I will say this, that some of our best of times, right, have really been like
That's some of the best times that we have. I had to tell
anyway,
her that
shush,
in that
shush, shush,
field.
shush, shush, shush. When we've had some of our worst of times, right, our best of times were the light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay. So I was talking to a friend and I was telling them um how situations started to really affect me, right? And I was saying looking from a biblical aspect, right?
Mhm.
Because as the head, I understand how that circumstance will always kind of like try to come at me first. And trust me, it'd be some days, boy, y'all have to know. Well, she be having to pray. You know what I'm saying? She be having to pray, and I be having to pray too. We be in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of like look at it where it's like we're speaking spirits, and we have to know the authority that we have in our lives and in our position. So all of the things that we kind of like take in, they don't necessarily separate us from what we will face and deal with. Like the Bible doesn't tell you that they won't form. It just says that they won't prosper.
And that's the truth. And so a lot of the times you think about that, and you may know that and understand that, and you apply it to yourself maybe personally, but you don't understand and realize that that is only magnified when you try to take two people and put them in one circumstance.
From two different dynamics, two different spectrums that speak two different love languages, were raised two different ways, and you just kind of have to come up with this potion that's gonna keep you guys interested and sewn together spiritually and physically. And that man, I mean, it's a wonderful thing when you can actually put forth an honest effort and make it happen.
Yeah, to attain it.
But it's a even more magnificent thing when you can make it look good and it feels just as good as it looks.
So for a long time, we made our relationship look good. Like it looked great. Like, we were always together. We take really cute pictures together and stuff like that. But behind the scenes, we were having a very, very tough time.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to, get it together, make it work, make the best of it. And we couldn't understand a lot of that for a long time, but I think we now have a greater understanding as to why we were going through so much. I do attribute a lot of what we were going through in an effort to stop us from doing this. In an effort to stop us from bringing AD&D to the platform where people can go and just kind of voice their safe space for voicing their relationship things. And again, you don't have to necessarily say them on the platform, but just being able to kind of have that open adult-like conversations about real things that you face in your relationship is necessary. So
I had to get some words of encouragement from some people that I hold very dear to me, because I battled with so much, especially when it came down to the peace of mind that I was really looking for. So I got my inner circle of people that I could trust, particularly like my pops. Shout out to Evangelist Gordon, Lee Gordon. I love you to life. I appreciate everything that you've ever done for me and continue to do for me. And he was just like this force in my life, just this rock that would not turn me loose. He wouldn't accept less of me. So that for me was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna try to get this right when it comes down to dealing with her.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing for me to make jacked up decisions and do stuff on my own, but in order to make that right when it came down to having a partner, it was like sometimes, just like now, I rehearsed a lot of the stuff that I say before I say it, because I don't want to offend her to a certain degree, because you get what you put out.
Yeah, for sure.
So those first times and the trips and the communication all started to be the way for us to kind of like keep the wave going, because we had tried everything else. And
so we thought,
yeah, we didn't like each other to a certain degree.
Yeah.
We learned from people who had failed marriages, as well as people who were encouraging to us, and they were in successful marriages. And we were like, man, what is like? I mean, we have some really, really awesome people that we've been blessed with to communicate with
in our association. Absolutely.
Oh man, my uncle and aunt,
sure.
They've been married for what, 29 years?
They've been married, yes.
And them jokers still, if you give them 5 minutes too long, they gon' disappear in the bathroom. You don't even know, and you be like, wait a minute. Oh, and I feel like that is something that you need to see to know like
Yeah.
he's still crazy about her, like
Yeah.
all this time later. You know what I'm saying?
And he definitely needs that piece. And for me, I need the piece of um you are not alone. You're not the only person to go through it. We went through it and we made it through. And I needed that. I needed to know that it was okay for us to go through certain things and we would still make it on the other side of it. So there were a lot of times where things got really dark and it got really eerie and really heavy. But I would listen to those women that were in my life who said, listen, I went through this and I went through that. And, he did this and I did this, but we made it through. I needed that because that was my motivator to not just throw in the towel and quit.
And I be needing just to know that I'm not gonna be given up on, or it's okay to be afraid to be disappointed, because in every other relationship that I've dealt with, I have gone through some sort of disappointment. Every woman in my life, from my mother, starting with my mother, to the women that raised me and that were in my life, at some point they have abandoned me. They have left me in one situation or another. And most of the relationships, if not all of them, I'm pretty sure all, I have been betrayed. I've been not only neglected but cheated on and manipulated and some everything else. So it was easy, and still oftentimes it's easy for me to just be like, fuck that.
Who needs it?
Hey, listen,
I don't want nothing to do with it.
as long as we don't hate each other, we can just kind of go our separate ways. I'm cool, because like, maybe it's run its course. And
I'm
then
so
I'm
not.
like,
Yeah.
this motherfucker ain't gonna leave me
No,
alone.
and
but
I'm
she won't
and
leave me
and I'm
alone.
not. I am, and I often tell him that I am very much so a romantic. Seriously. And for me, I know the way that I feel about my husband, and because I know the way that I feel, I'm not just gonna turn around and say, "Oh, I'm over it. I quit." I'm just not going to do that. When I have felt that way in previous relationships and circumstances, and I felt like it was the end, it was the end. I've not felt like this candle has burned itself out yet. So
Right.
I'm not going to just turn around and say, you know what, forget about it. You go your way, I go mine, and we'll be fine. I don't feel that way. I feel like everything that we're facing is just, another bump in the road for us to kind of get through. I see and I have seen, and that probably goes a little bit deeper than maybe some of you guys are kind of ready to hear, but I prayed for this man before he came into my life. And I knew that when he got there, he would be the person that God sent.
I wanted nothing to do with it. I was just trying to have fun. I liked what we had going on. Consistent. I felt like we were communicating great, but it was just more so like when the disappointment came into play. I've dealt with that really hard because
it ties into so many other disappointments,
so many others throughout my life and childhood, and those traumas that I wasn't able to face and address caused so many other domino effects in our relationship.
Absolutely.
But in keeping things, in relevant or relative to what it is that we openly discussed initially, we came to the idea that we were going to have to be that challenge for each other. The partnership that you guys see now is not always beautiful. It is work. And I'm pretty sure if you have a partner, if you have a significant other, you understand what I mean
when he says
wholeheartedly.
And
that this is this is not for the faint at heart.
This is the hardest job you ever had in your life. And if you
resume,
if you choose the correct partner, it will feel worth it.
That's right.
But if you do not, it will feel like the worst thing you've ever done to yourself. For me, one of the things that I am committed to, in as far as AD&D goes is I don't ever want to come to you guys and give you the impression that we've not gone through it, because I think that's where most of us in life have gone wrong, looking at other relationships and seeing the beauty in it, thinking that they never went through any hardship. And it is a lie.
Yeah, I was cussing her out last week. I'm telling you, and she hit me. I started to call her mama.
I did not hit you. I didn't hit you.
Danielle.
What?
You didn't hit me when I was cussing you out.
Oh, okay, all right, man. Okay, because that's what I was referring to. Anything other than that, I can't confirm or deny those allegations. I'm just saying that.
Okay, so I just want y'all to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, we go through this, but we truly love each other.
For sure.
You understand what I'm saying? We truly love each other. It's like we're inseparable, and we have been apart. We've spent time apart. Yeah. We had gone to a place so deep in our relationship to the point where we were just like, you know what? We done everything except break up.
Yeah.
And then we broke up. And then it was like,
and we hated it. We're so special, y'all. You don't know our life. Don't judge us.
What you doing?
I'm just saying.
Nothing. What you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss you. Too.
Hey, bro. Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. And what you gonna do about it? This is my husband.
It's like it's ridiculous. So I mean, at that point,
in my current Claiborne voice, judge your mammy.
We just had to kind of do what it is that we did to make things right. What up, little bro?
Yeah. So we definitely have been putting out the effort, the energy, and putting in the time to make sure that we bring our most authentic selves to you guys. And we're open to answering any questions that you have. We've been asked some interesting questions since AD&D started. Hey, Rita.
Let's spicy.
So nice of you to join us. You've been missing, girl. We missed you. How was your move, by the way? You need to tell me about that. So in either case, we've been asked some questions, but because we are really, really, really trying to put our best foot forward to really help whoever it is that we can, we are willing to do that. We are still in the works with a lot of different things. If you guys hadn't seen that our sons did the Carolina Reaper Challenge, that was fun. And look what I did.
We got more. So I split the peanut last time, right? And we had baby boy lose his mind. He just really went crazy. So we got the tube of terror.
Oh, yeah.
We ordered the tube of
it's
terror.
Here.
And
it's not even open yet.
That's right. It is the Carolina Reaper Peanut Challenge. And AD&D and the Black Brady's, minus KK. Will be partaking in this bad boy right here. You're supposed to eat the whole tube. I don't think no way in hell that anybody can actually eat this whole tube of these peanuts. These peanuts are hot as PHUCK.
And so tomorrow, take a look at the channel. We will be doing another challenge. So it's on the girls this time. Last time the boys did it. We'll probably do a little bit of both because Daddy didn't get in last time. It was just the boys.
Right. So we're gonna let everybody get a whole peanut because I think Tanari got a little bit of the
he got the short end.
The short end of the stick because he got all of the crumbs. If
you saw that video, my baby had a really hard time. If you haven't seen that video, I'll drop the link for that video inside of the comments. Definitely check it out. To me, it was hilarious. I'm sorry.
I think that I'm not even gonna let him buy any milk, and we're just gonna kind of tough it out. But I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not gonna torture me. I don't know what he's talking about. If I am on fire, there's nothing he can do about it. Now we could do that. That'll be a first time for us to kind of do a complete family challenge because we're a spicy food household anyway. We do tons and tons and tons of pepper. So we'll see what this works out like. The boys did really good last time. They were like unmoved.
Death nut.
That's what the death nut challenge is what that is.
So I mean. I'm not into nuts, and I'm not into death either. But we're going to see how this works out. Join us tomorrow
to see how this challenge works out. Hey, if you are still tuned in with us, we started the show Ask asking, when's the last time that you did something for the
for the
first
first
time?
time.
So if you're tuned in and if you don't mind, just moving those little fingers.
And the importance of doing new things for the first time with your partner so that you keep things nice and fresh. You know
I
what
agree.
mean?
Share with us. Drop it in the comments. When's the last time you did something for the first time? We share ours. Today was the last time that we did something for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went and had an oh gosh.
We don't want to talk about those kind of nuts that you're into.
Oh gosh.
So you keep that to yourself.
Okay,
Jefferson.
so yeah. So we went and had oh my god, a phenomenal, like, I guess you could say, like, late lunch, early dinner.
Foodgasm. It was a foodgasm.
It was a total foodgasm.
We went to Papados and they have this crab spinach dip.
Amazing.
By the way, Casey Anthony.
Oh my god. Okay,
the
so
table
wait a minute.
behind me.
Sorry, I just got so excited because I couldn't talk about it before, but I could talk about it now. That was totally Casey Anthony who was sitting in Papados with us today.
And her fucking daddy,
and
who
her
looks
dad,
like Mr. Burns.
They were at Papados with us, just kicking it. He's drinking a beer. She's drinking a drink. Totally Casey Anthony years later with her, normal self now. She doesn't look like she's on trial anymore. But that was so creepy. Like, we got pictures. We'll drop those on our IG.
Because I looked back and I was like, why the fuck does she look so familiar?
Oh my God.
And my wife
totally
was like,
Casey Anthony.
She looks like somebody. Like,
she looks like somebody
and
that
I said,
know.
That motherfucker looked like Casey Anthony.
And I
she
looked
was like,
and I was like,
oh God. So I boom, went to Google and I'm like, and she's like, that is definitely Casey Anthony.
Totally Casey Anthony.
So,
and what's worse is we called like 3 people, like, holy shit, we're in Papados. And Casey Anthony's sitting behind us.
And
right?
I think I want to go over there and say, Casey, how you doing?
Wait a minute. Every person that we call was like, you mean the bitch that murdered her kid?
Ain't that the bitch?
Oh my
God. She had the ground beef, the spoiled meat in a truck.
But
you talking about the cheerleader bitch with the baby? Oh man,
Casey Anthony, I know Casey Anthony, the one who killed her baby and threw her in the truck. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. Oh my God, it was horrible, but it was absolutely hilarious. It was kind of creepy. It was really crazy
because it was really her. I don't give a damn.
Really
you can't fake that face, okay?
You
understand me? You gotta understand. I was a kid when I got introduced to who the hell Casey Anthony was because she was a baby killer. And I would never forget the face of a baby killer because, baby, she's a killer. Okay? All right.
If it wasn't for the fact that, and I said this to him today, so I'm going to say to you the exact same words. I'm going to tell you this way. If it were not for the fact that I believe that she murdered her daughter, I would have asked her for a picture. But because I believe in my heart of hearts that she killed her daughter, I think we all believe that she killed her daughter. I wouldn't ask her for a picture. I don't want no pictures with no murderers, okay?
On the other hand, I'm with OJ. If the glove doesn't fit,
you must have quit.
I'm telling you guys.
Well, again, I said to him, although she was acquitted, I still believe that she killed her daughter.
Yeah, and they spent good money to cover it up. That's what the truth of the matter is, and that's how I feel. And
I surely feel like she did, and so because of that,
and the daddy helped her hide that goddamn baby. That's why
to make her disappear.
Her remains ended up 60 feet next door,
and that's why it was just Casey and her dad and not her mom. But anyway, it was such a cool experience. Even though it was one of our first times, we're nuts.
That was definitely a first time. We were in the same room with the killer.
With a known murderer. Like someone that we knew committed murder. I'm pretty sure we've been in a room before with someone who's,
oh, definitely.
Yeah,
like,
I'm certain.
When we first got together, for sure. I'm going to tell you the truth, because, we've been some places and seen some
every
things.
Single time we go somewhere and we do something, we always run into some of the quirkiest stuff. Casey Anthony was it for us today. Anyway, that is enough for us sharing our best of times. I hope you guys have some best of times. And if you don't have any best of times, right, you don't need a partner to do something for the first time. You don't need a partner to do something for the first time. When's the last time you did something for the first time? So if you haven't done anything
Is it Oscar?
for 2021, I take that back. We challenge you
That's
to
right.
do something for the first time.
And post us, tag us,
Absolutely.
let us know. Let's get a challenge going. Everybody
Absolutely.
wants to do all of these different challenges. Let's do a first time
Mhm.
challenge.
All right, so I'll drop the details for that as well. So take a look at our IG tomorrow, take a look at our Facebook, and we'll give you the hashtag to add for when's the last time you did something for the first time. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be a pretty awesome challenge. I'm
Dope.
interested to see. And you know how that goes. We look forward to seeing how that works out. If you've got pictures, because we're gonna drop our pictures from our first time at Papados today.
Especially of Casey Anthony. I got one.
Yeah.
I got a really
A
clear
good
picture.
one too.
Mhm.
But anyway, I'm going to the fashion market in Orlando for the first time next week. That counts.
Can I get something for my head? Cause like I'm trying to, do my little head wrap thing. I'm trying to keep my hair nice and clean. Cause people y'all, so just help a brother out, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I tell you what, sis, when you do go to Orlando, take tons of pictures and you can hashtag us for your first time in a long time.
That's right.
Listen, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight.
Again, on another Tuesday night, I
Pitch.
definitely want to make sure that we acknowledge you guys for joining us. We love you guys so much. We love you guys so much. So glad that y'all could join us once again on another Tuesday night.
And
we have some up and coming things. Unfortunately, we did have to cancel the Valentine's Day dinner.
But that's okay because there's still more to come. Up close and personal is coming your way in no time flat. I know you're super excited about that. Hey, if you know any couples that have been at it for quite some time, maybe you go to them for resources, for help, for advice. Send us their information. We'd love to have them on the up close and personal segment.
That's right.
Check out the channel tomorrow for the Carolina Reaper Challenge. That's gonna be fun.
That's right.
And again, keep an eye out on our Facebook and our Instagram. Oh, and if you haven't already followed us on TikTok,
we on there too.
Follow us on TikTok.
And listen, don't tell too many people, but we get ready to have a party. All right, so y'all stay tuned for that because we're gonna have a all grown folks, grown and sexy party. More than likely hosted over at Grand Fumé. So you guys be on the lookout for that because you will have AD&D and we may potentially have a couple other guests that will be there to join us while we are doing our thing, grown and sexy in the 99 and the year 2000.
Listen at him putting out information. So listen, we got lots of stuff coming and I know you're tired of hearing that. So we won't talk about it anymore. We'll just share it with you. So take a look at our page tomorrow, whether you follow us on Instagram, IG, or just on our YouTube. Make sure that you take a look because we're going to be dropping the wonderful information for our best of times challenge. That's what we'll call it.
Thank you guys for joining us here in this place.
That's right.
Sharing our space once again
with y'all
on another Tuesday night.
That's right.
And until next time, same time, same place. Like, share, subscribe.
Please do.
We love you guys.
Yes.
Peace.